Hi there, it's Emily. Bernie and I want to remind you that getting together is how we grow. That's why we want you to come to the next Unreasonable Connection event. We run this video call every month around now, and it's a great way to connect with other co-working professionals around the world and maybe even find a spark of inspiration. Sign up using the link in the show notes, and off to you, Bernie.
Hello, folks, and today's episode of the Co-working Values podcast, Vigo's #1 English-speaking podcast, is with co-working rockstar legend, which is what people said about her when I left the European Co-working Assembly call just now, is Vanessa Sans. What are you known for, Vanessa? And what would you like to be known for?
Hey, Bernie, thank you so much for inviting me. Well, I don't feel like a superstar, but that's very funny. How are you?
I'm really well. What do you think people know you for in co-working?
Yeah, for co-working Europe, of course, but well, also Transforma. I had some adventures with co-working during the last 10 years. So yeah, I started with my co-working space Transforma, then I joined co-working Spain, then co-working Europe, and with Janice, we also launched co-working India, co-working Africa, and then it came Happy Working Lab, my consultancy.
And where I feel that you're like a book that has journeyed around the world and come home. Because where are you nowadays?
Well, now I'm in small town in Barcelona, Caldas. It's 45 minutes from Barcelona city. So I've been always looking for a nice place on the seaside. I've been looking for it, and at the end, it was next to my home.
It's like that Alchemist book by Paolo Coelho that you've like searched all over the world, and then you come home and what you were always looking for was there. I have actually never asked this question in like 10 years. We first met in Co-working Europe in Lisbon in 2014 and in that Co-Pass house. And I've never asked you this. Where did you first find co-working?
In Utopicus in 2010. Yeah, then it was when I fell in love with co-working and when I found out what it was about. I was um, I was organizing an event in Utopicus. Well, a friend of mine suggested me that place because it was an underground place where people used to work from there, but also organize with cool events, cultural events. And we spent 3 days working in there, and well, this experience impact my life. And I asked Rafa de Ramon, that I wanted to open a place like this in Barcelona. So this is how I started in co-working.
How long was it before you opened the space in Barcelona?
2 years ago, because at the beginning I supposed to open a Utopicus with Rafa, and we start looking for a property. But at the same time, I started to build up a community in Barcelona, organizing pop-up events in different places. And finally, after 2 years, we found a place, but well, at the end, I opened co-working with another brand, Transforma.
And what I've always wanted to ask you this too: was it called Transformer because you like Lou Reed, or was it called
No,
Transformer?
no, because Transforma, well, it's for me, co-working space. It's a tool to transform something, to transform a borough, to transform a city, to transform people's lives. And Transforma, it's Catalan, but well, everyone English, so everybody understands what means Transforma. English, French, Italian.
So at the point you did that, that was what was that 2012? What?
Yeah, 2012.
Because now, like, I've always loved this idea of a co-working space being, you know, not just an office and all that conversation which we have all the time, but that you know, cultural hub. And because there weren't many places doing that type of thing at that moment in time in Europe. So did you have this idea and you put the idea into motion, or had you been around and visited lots of places?
I visit, well, at that time were not so many co-working spaces open. So the best example that I have was Utopicus, and in 2010, 2011, it was one of the biggest ones. And the other spaces were small, except, well, as I said, Utopicus and also Impact Hub. It was uh, another big one. And I also organized some events in Impact Hub as well. Um, and then I and well I got in touch with Coworking Spain with Manu, and then as my background is from events, I helped him to organize I think it was the second edition of the Coworking Spain conference, and I helped him, and to me it was a way to meet other co-working cooperators. So it helped me a lot to. They gave me a lot of tips about how to operate Transforma.
When you did the co-working Spain conference? Because when
It
I
was it was in 2013. 2013, the Spanish conference and the European conference um, were organized both in Barcelona, and I get involved in both. So first in the co-working Spanish conference, and then Genève was there, and he proposed me to help him in the organization of co-working Europe, because it was going to happen in Barcelona too.
and did you? I was going to try and ask a question, but I've got to tell you, I'm going to say it like this: when I came to Lisbon in 2014, and I imagine the same sort of thing happened to you in 2013 in Barcelona. I just didn't realize that many people knew about co-working, and I felt like I'd found my people, and I was
Yeah,
amazed at how many people around. There were people at that conference in Lisbon that I had known from other projects I was working on around Europe from the last 5 years, and it's like they all turned up at the same party. And I had no idea how they would know each other, but they all came. They were open source people. They were like Ramon Schraez from Beta House. I was at the opening of Beta House in
yeah.
Brussels, and I was like, what are all these people doing here?
Well,
And
and
it was amazing.
Copas as
Yep.
well. Stefano, well, all the team of Copas. Yeah, at that time we were a big family, well, a small but big family. So we I remember how many people attend in Lisbon. I think that we were about 200 people, something like this, and most of us we knew each other, because co-working was not a big thing yet. No, but it was great because we were like a family, and we support each other a lot.
That was amazing. I'm going to put the link ladies and gentlemen, to the co-pass video in the show notes here, which
Yes,
shows
please.
where we stayed. And so many of the people in that video, like I'd still talk to Stefano. We went to meet him in Rome. There's people from Argentina that were at that conference, and I went to see them in their co-working space in Argentina. Elena Giroli, we ran WeShare and co-working
Yeah,
London together, and that's like the relationships. Probably about a quarter of the people that stayed in that house have come to stay with us in London, and it was, and we're here talking today. So I always remember there was the drinks party for Co-working Europe in a club somewhere, and it finished up, and everybody came back to what was it called, the
yeah,
Lost in Lisbon hostel, and someone
yeah.
ordered a whole roast pig. Can you remember that on the kitchen table?
Yeah, I remember. I remember. To me, it was funny because I had a great time, but at the same time, I was sick. I was well with a big flu and fever, and I don't know how I managed to enjoy. And I remember that I get up and Sharif said me, "Oh, did you go out yesterday?" I said, "No, no, no, I don't feel well."
But when you're running events, you get this like super powered adrenaline. There's so many events I've run and I've been like really sick and exhausted, but I've just kept on going because the buzz of it's not a very healthy way to act, but the buzz of being around people, and you've only got that few days with those people, and you want to get it all in is really amazing.
Yeah, yeah. No, apart of that, I really enjoy the Lisbon conference. It was great, and the Copas Camp was fantastic.
So I didn't realize this until a few years ago. The last scene of that Kopars video is me and Matthias from Croatia hugging to say goodbye.
Oh yeah,
And it really
Matthias.
got me. And in 2020, I went to Nashville where Maria, his mother, lives now. And we just met up, and we were having a coffee, and it was amazing like the path that particular experience took.
Yeah, yeah, and with Matthias also. Well, a part of the Co-working Europe conference that we shared, also we were together in another event in Austria, and we took part of we were the co-working team because it was an event organized by the administration, quite corporate, and and they build up and invite some people from the co-working wall. We were 10 people that we helped them to open a bit the corporate mind. But I'm talking about long time ago.
Was that like 2015 or something?
Yeah, 2015. Yeah, I think I wrote a blog post about that event.
We can find it. So let's get to, how do you say it? Kalima.
Kalima.
Kalima. How did you find? We're going to shift gears here, folks, as we say in podcasting. How did you find that building? Where, like,
I
what's
think
the journey?
the building found me because I moved to Caldas, and I was working from home. So what the thing that I was missing is working from a working space and be surrounded by a community, local and international community as well. So Caldas is small town with 3,000 inhabitants. So pretty, it's not very big. And I was looking for a place for a co-working space, and I didn't like any of them. Most of them were very small and business centers, so not co-working. One day I passed by Kalima. Kalima, it's been an hotel, and I saw some people working with laptops, and then I called. I I found them, and I asked if they were renting the space or doing a kind of co-working membership, and they said me that no, but they wanted to do it, and we start conversation about that, and I proposed my services. I said, okay, I'm a co-working consultant. I can help you to implement co-working in here. And well, we continue a conversation, and then they said me, no, we want a partner. Then I thought, and I said, okay, if you want to partner with me, I have to take it over the whole building. And here I am.
So did you take the whole building off them, or did they give you the whole building to do what you want with?
Say again.
Did you take the building from them nicely?
No.
Or did they give you a free hand?
No, we partner up, so I'm under a management agreement.
So you get this building, and we have to get this in. How far is it from the beach?
7 seconds.
It's so cool, isn't it? So it's 7 seconds from the beach, and
yeah, it's a dream. It's a modernist hotel. Building has about 450, a bit more than 450 square meters, 10 rooms. We have one floor that it's the working area and the common area with 25 seats, desks. And then the basement, it's the cafe with a big kitchen, and also we have a huge garden in front of the beach, and on terraces as well. So it's wonderful.
I look at it a lot online, and I'm on my way. I don't want to go to Barcelona. I want to go to you, and that's So with all this, so you get this building now, and how have you gone about building community around this new thing? Was there already a community around it, or did you have to reinvent it? What's the story for you?
I built up a community from scratch. So my idea was to create a local community, meaning local. Well, I know that this word doesn't exist, but for Kalima, yes, it has a meaning, which is a community made of international and local remote workers. So the first event that I organized, it was a workshop to co-create the branding of Kalima, to rebrand the name, and I call some digital nomads and remote workers, and also some locals that were remote workers as well, or working from home in a hybrid mode. And well, we spent one day doing working in a workshop, and then we designed the values of the brand, and we develop the philosophy, values, the tone of voice, the basement of the brand that will help the brand designer to rebrand Kalima. So in that day, that was in March, last March of this year, I can say that I started to build up the Kalima community made of international and locals. And after that, I make a call to digital nomads and remote workers to help me to co-create the whole project. In exchange. So I was giving the stay for free for 1 month in exchange of skills to help me to develop uh, the customer, all the operations, all the marketing, the website, the design of the space, etc. So, well, we had a lot of success because I did it with the support of Simon Lewis from Coworking Days. I didn't have any website, so we published through Coworking Days, and it was a very successful organic campaign because it was just a post that all the people that attend the workshop start to share it, and we receive about 300 how I can say we received 300
Applications?
applications. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes, we received 300
Application.
application. Yeah, 300 applications that but very good profiles from everywhere, from around everywhere in the world, and well, we made interviews, and then we select. The first month, it came about 15 people, most of them for 1 month. And the second month, we select other group of people that I think that time we were more because some people came 15 days, other 1 month. And I think that we were about 22 people. And yes, and we launched Kalima. Yeah, it was a great experience, and what I can say from these 2 months is that we had a real connections, real uh, friendships, and also professional friendships. So it was I experienced 2 very intensive months, but I'm full of gratitude and energy, and I learned a lot.
I think like the way I know, like that is the way you did that is the way I think everyone should launch a co-working space, and or the community involvement I think is that just shows the experience you have, that the hard work of doing it that way makes it much more successful in the long run than hiring an agency and just
Yeah,
unlocking the door and going for it.
yeah, yeah. The finally, and as a co-working consultant, I develop several projects to my clients. Um, and that time it was my own project, so that's why I wanted to do it in that way.
You're like the Farrell Williams of co-working, like works on all these other people's projects and then does their own project, and it just blows up like happy in I don't know if you remember that song, because I'm happy, just like took over the world. The So going back to the beginning of that process, so you have this vision, and then you get this room full of people together and co-create the value, and we love co-creating, like co-create the values and the branding and everything. And how so when you walked in that room to start that process, how much was what you came out of that room with in line with the same as what you thought? Did it change dramatically when everyone else got involved?
Well, to me, let me think. So I think that the project has different, so many different views. and then was the most difficult to me was the project management, because a lot was everybody wanted to participate and get involved, in everything, and at the end, so it was super nice that, but at the end, what we learned is that we have to focus in, in each one so one people in one project, not in three. But at the first month, we were a bit more disorganized because everyone wanted to participate in everything. But at the end, we learned how to manage it, and I think that the result was fantastic.
And
But it's completely different when you hire a consultant that, you know it's a study, and me, of course, I did a financial study first of all, as I used to do. But at the end, when you have you are working with your potential clients, I think that you improve much more your project,
yeah,
because
because
you are
you
making it for them as they want.
there's something about you could read all day about marketing, communications, and everything like that, or anything to do with making a project, and you could know a lot, and it's not until you've actually done it and felt the pain of it going wrong and the joy of the success that you understand how it works. One last thing is, how do you? This is where we live in Vigo and across the border in Portugal. There's a more so in Portugal. There's a conversation about digital nomads and how they come and make a place or ruin a place. And how do you deal with the digital nomad conversation? Because it's kind of a good and bad thing at the same time.
Yeah, so I think I have to say that most of the people that came to Kalima are remote workers than digital nomads. That to me, it's a different lifestyle. Um, and so how do you difference them? No, that's the point, because at the end the line is very very thin. No, is that the digital nomads, it's a way of life. No, they like to spend between 1 month or 3 months, and then they change, and like this all the time. They they look a lot for the wellness and the work-life balance, and I think that the remote worker, so they have a place so they have their home, and they come for the longest 1 month, and then they come back. No, and I think uh, they work more hours, and it's another lifestyle. No, they work more hours, and the activities that they like are a bit different. But that it depends. But I think that I had more remote workers than digital nomads in Kalima.
Is that because of the the type of town it is? It's like when I say to people, "Do you know Vigo?" No one knows Vigo, so it's not on the digital nomad, even though it's on the Camino, which is a very famous walk from
Yeah,
in
but
Santiago.
because to me, what digital nomads, they look are cities with a nice hot weather, and Barcelona it's a digital nomad hotspot, but not Caldas. No one knows like Vigo, Caldas.
They will after this podcast.
Yeah, I hope so. And also Vigo, because Vigo it's a very nice place.
I love it. So where's the best place to find you online? We're going to put all the links in the show notes, but if people want to come and stay with you, where can people keep track of your story and your progress?
Kalima Instagram, Kalima Beach Life, and my personal account in LinkedIn, Vanessa Sans.
We'll put a link in the show notes to that. I'm hope to make it down to see you, and it's been great. I feel like I've never been there, but I feel like between you and Simon, I've been part of the journey as it's unfolded on social media and stuff. So we'll put a link in the show notes to everything to do with Vanessa, and also if you go to LinkedIn, there's a link in the show notes to the global co-working LinkedIn group, which is 7,000 people talking about co-working, co-living and everything like that. And we're always looking for your local stories. So if you're in a little co-working space and don't think anyone is interested in you, please go and put your story, just like what you're doing in your co-working space today. Because like Vanessa and I said in this podcast earlier on, we at some point we realized how many other people in the world were talking about co-working, and that's how you find your people. So no co-working imposter syndrome, just jump in there and share your stories. And also coming up we'll put a link in this as well, and every podcast has this link in May the 14th 2025 is European Co-working Day, and that's when co-working spaces of all shapes and sizes do an open doors day, and getting people in your neighborhood to find out about your co-working space and how they can connect is one of the best things you can ever do in your life. What do you think of the whole neighbourhood connection just before we go, Vanessa? I know I was trying to finish the podcast, but that's a big part of your ethos, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yes, a co-working space activate the neighborhood for sure. So if you set up a co-working space, at least here in what is happening in Caldas, we are attracting people from other towns, and we are activating the local businesses, because our members, they go to have a cafe, to have a lounge, to have a drink in the business nearby, and also I'm sure that it will help to activate other businesses.
It does. Thank you very much, folks. Be careful out there. It is a jungle.
Thank you, Bernie. It's been a pleasure to talk to you and be here.
Ciao. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.